Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan. As is more and more the case with modern woke Hollywood, actors are finding it harder and harder to take roles as you have to 100% match the character you're playing or you're going to get canceled for it. That was seen in Miss Marvel with one of the co-stars getting attacked for not being Muslim, even though she's of Islamic heritage. And it's going to just keep cycling down and down and down until you physically cannot portray a character who does not think, act, or believe every single thing that you do. And it's going to make it impossible to show negative characters. It's just going to get progressively insane to have conversations. Actors pretend for a living. It's a simple way of putting it. They pretend, and they need to be allowed to pretend in the roles that they're suited for, that they'd be good at pretending to be. And we have another example of that here where someone is being canceled for not matching a role 100%. Now, I'm not really a big fan of Marvel to begin with right now, so I'm kind of liking that between Miss Marvel and this, that they're getting eaten alive for this. And I know it's Sony, and I'm more of a fan than Sony than Disney Marvel, but it's still to be said of Hollywood in general, that woke eats woke. Go woke, go broke. They're killing each other. It's just a constant war to see who dies first. So we got this article here from Bounding in Comics. Woke mob furious over Madam Web's casting because the actress isn't blind. Actors pretend for a living. Let them pretend. Was Jeremy Renner deaf in Hawkeye? His character was in the show, but he wasn't. Why aren't they trying to cancel him? Charlie Cox, Daredevil. The actor's not blind, but the character is. It's almost like they pretend for a living. I know. It's crazy. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of the comics, but I have more of a problem with her age than her not being blind. It's not even remotely the same Madam Web. And could that be good? Absolutely. But up front, it is they're already breaking from continuity or from authentic adaptation. So I have more of a problem with that. But yeah, they're mad at her for not being blind. Jesus Christ, people. According to multiple reports, 50 Shades of Grey, a star, Dakota Johnson, is in talks to play Madam Web in an upcoming film. Woke fans are furious at the news. Why? Because unlike the Madam Web character, Johnson isn't blind. And I love Bounding in Comics, but they should not be called fans. They hate everything that they don't agree with, and that's been proven on so many different occasions. You can't call them fans if they're just wanting to destroy everything that came before that they claim to love. First appearing in The Amazing Spider-Man number 210, Madam Web is a blind, disabled, elderly woman with precognitive abilities. I'd imagine they have a problem if she was blind, disabled, because from my understanding, she's primarily a villainous character, like a moral character that allows a lot of terrible things to happen, and there's a lot of conflict when it comes to her moral compass that comes into question of whether or not she's actually doing the right thing and being a good person. So for these woke people to have a blind, disabled, elderly woman play a villain character, they have a lot of problems with that too. So by including this character, it's a no-win scenario from the woke mob's perspective. The character often uses her powers to assist and guide Spider-Man and other Spider-Man characters on their adventures. Oh, I guess you may be a good guy then. That wasn't my understanding of it. On Thursday, The Hollywood Reporter announced that Johnson was set to star in Sony's upcoming Madam Web film, which is meant to be a part of the studio's series of Spider-Man spin-off franchises. I don't know how they keep making spin-off movies about Spider-Man related characters, and it's insane to see how good they're doing. So props to them for making these characters likable or profitable. A chorus of social justice warriors took to social media following the news, proclaiming that the casting was a form of bigoted discrimination against the disabled community. No, it wasn't hateful. It wasn't. It's difficult. However you feel about disabled people being included in our society, they should absolutely do, and you do what you can to accommodate them, but you can't bend over backwards to reshape our entire world for a select few people, and that applies to all different categories of people beyond just disabled people. So there are limitations to having a blind person on set doing a lot of the things that would be required from a superhero character. Whether or not it's an action role, it would still require a lot of stuff that would be difficult for a blind actress to do. And from my understanding, there's not a ton of blind actresses out there. I don't know of really any, off the top of my head. So it wasn't bigoted. It was advantageous. It was the best choice that they had available to them to be the most profitable and accurate. One user wrote, "No love for old actresses anymore. The young down Aunt May, and while I know now that they are younger versions of this character, it takes away opportunities for older women in the acting business. Carrie Fisher dealt with this before the Star Wars sequel trilogy." I don't necessarily have, her character should be older. That is my personal opinion. I prefer accurate adaptations. But when it comes to just in general being bigoted, per se, against elderly people, I think that's inaccurate, because movies are meant to show the best of us. We like to see hot people running around doing cool things. It's just the thing. And so young people make more sense in a scenario like that. It's just the way it is, and there's nothing particularly wrong with that sentiment. God. The user added, not to mention the fact that Madame Web is blind, at least in the older adaptations. Don't know if she's blind in the younger adaptations, and this takes away a blind actor's role in these films too. Actors pretend for a living. That is literally the only response I need to stuff like that. Hell nah, disabled actresses exist, one Twitter user wrote. Madame Web is canonically blind character. Disabled, I can't pronounce most of that. Disabled mimicry is so annoying. They didn't have a problem with it in other scenarios, so why is it suddenly insane in this scenario? And before you comic book dweebs get your knickers in a twist, yes, I know about the Utopia Carpenter version. The user wrote in a follow-up tweet, the casting most likely means they'll introduce the OG Cassandra Rudd combined with elements of Julia, so it'd still be disability erasure. From my understanding, Madame Web is like a position, like King of Asgard is a position that can be passed to someone else. So this may be a different version than Cassandra Web, like they even mention here. So it's not necessarily even disability erasure. People pretend for a living. Ugh. At this point, it is unknown whether this film will feature Cassandra Webb, the traditional elderly version of character, or Julia Carpenter, a former Spider-Woman who took up the mantle of Madame Web after Webb's death. So yeah, if it was the young version, then I don't even have a problem with it being not an elderly woman. Then it would be an accurate adaptation, which I don't have a problem with. So calm the fuck down. Cassandra Webb's version was introduced as a blind character in her first appearance back in Spider-Man 210. These blind eyes can see beyond normal sight. In short, I am clairvoyant, a soothsayer, a psychic, a witch, if you will. So yeah, she has superpowers. Jeez. Cassandra was made blind when Webb transferred her powers to her in The Amazing Spider-Man. Oh, so she became blind too, but she wasn't originally. So you'd need a non-blind character. If I'm filling this out to completion, if they adapted Carpenter's story, have a non-blind actress play her for up to that transition, and then after that transition, we gotta blind this fucking actress so she can be accurate. That's the only way to fulfill a story arc like that. Start out not blind, become blind. The only way to do that is to blind the actress halfway through. See how insane that fucking sounds? Actors can pretend. Charlie Cox, not blind. Not blind. Not a big deal. He's acting. And his role especially would be insanely difficult for a blind person to act as. Because he has to act like he can see sometimes. And Jesus Christ. What is wrong with these people? Other fans, as ageism or discrimination against the elderly, like that's insane too. That's insane. Ageism isn't the direction I was even going with. It was like accurate portrayal, but there's a younger version that is prominent at least. So fine. But ageism, yeah. It's not a real problem. They're acting like it's well-known fact. It's hard for older people to do certain things. Can you imagine Helen Mirren being cast as Black Widow? That wouldn't work. I'm sorry. She's a great actress and I love her, but she wouldn't be a good Black Widow because of her age. There are certain limitations. And by ignoring certain limitations, we get rid of a lot of potentially great storytelling. Diversity in thought and diversity in just life experience is what I value more than diversity in appearance, because appearance is so superficial. But diversity in things that truly affect your day to day life, that's what's important. That's what makes a character who they are. That's what makes a person who they are. And so it's not agent. The Madam Web film will join Venom and the other ones. Yep. According to multiple reports, the studio is also developing Craven the Hunter. I hope that'll be good. Craven seems like a badass character. But yeah, it seems to be the end of it. I don't see this as a problem, especially if there's a prominent younger version of the character that, or the role that's accepted by fans, and it's not a tokenized version of it like it was done for story reasons. Totally fine with that. And yeah, it's just starting a rabbit hole that cannot be escaped from. If you keep going down this rabbit hole, everyone will be subject to devastating consequences. Just like that example I was giving, sounds crazy right now to have a singing actress play a singing actress, then get blinded halfway through to be accurate to the role. That sounds insane, but if we continue to this rabbit hole, 20 years from now, that may not seem that crazy. Jesus Christ, people. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Anon. If you like what I do here and want to see good, compelling stories that Hollywood will no longer give you, check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues. Books 1, Down in Flames, and Book 2, Apocalypse Then, currently on sale. Book 3, Kill the Dark, coming soon.